All right. What it is, Danny X. And I reached out to Matt Dillahunty a few weeks ago and started talking to him. He's going to go over all that. And he said he was going to make a video on my theology. And right away, when he said that, I knew it wasn't going to be a glowing video. I knew it was going to be a more on the scathing side of an evaluation. But I'll take it. I'll take it. I've called up the line to try to talk to Matt a handful of times, and I've never made it very far. If you go back and look, I got reactions to Matt on my channel. Um, okay, check it out. Matt kind of annoys me a lot, right? But I'm still a huge fan of him for a few different reasons. He's got balls. He's one of the few people who will outright say, "Fuck Christianity, fuck Muslims." You know, he's got balls. And when I really knew that I was his fan, okay, is this fucking Christian called up trolling him, right? And he told the Christian this line. He said, "How do you know that sex with God is better than sex with me?" And at that moment, that's when I just let the bear down. I'm like, God damn it, I like this motherfucker. But so anyway, I reached out to him, and he said he was going to make a video, and that was a few weeks ago. I thought he changed his mind and was like, "Nah, fuck that motherfucker." But he did make it, so we're going to jump right into it. So let's do that.
Rubbed, I hope, any identifying details other than the particular theology stuff that he sent me. Please do not go looking for this person to give them attention. It's entirely possible that attention is exactly what they're seeking.
Okay, attention is not what I'm seeking. My entire purpose is to defy the broken theology of Abraham, and attention just comes with that because I kind of stick out from everyone. I hang out with atheists a lot. My favorite people are atheists and pagans. I was raised as pagan. I claimed spiritual for a long time. Never at one point in my life did I ever claim atheist. But I really appreciate the perspective of atheists and their arguments. But I don't fit in anywhere, so I stand out everywhere. So, and I've always been like that, even before I started working on my theology. You know, I've just never fit in anywhere. So, when you don't fit in anywhere, you're kind of free to go everywhere. And so that's where I'm at with it. And that's a quick little point I wanted to address just with that. He's got some preamble going on before he jumps right into it. And just an observation, he looks quite troubled and worried. He states that he was on the fence as to if he was even going to do this response, but here we are, and let it rip.
Theology. This is him writing. I'm a non-Abrahamic true monotheist. Followers of Abraham are a blood cult of sin worshippers. Yahweh, Jesus, and Allah are desert war gods. There's no need for an apostrophe there. Of hypocrisy.
Well, I know you agree with all that, Matt.
I believe in a perception of the one true creator not derived from the broken theology of Abraham. What makes the theology of Abraham broken is that it incessantly attempts to interject division into that which is united, existence. Division in the form of constructs such as sin, evil, God's chosen people, blasphemy. The four traits I use to describe my perception of the one true creator are unity, consciousness, dark, and light, all of which traits are scientifically testable and observable. I'm going to pause here for just a second.
Fuck, man. For fuck's sake. Apologies for the secondhand commercials, y'all.
There's a pattern amongst some of these people who are truth seekers, flailing around in confusion, and that is using capital letters for emphasis, some random capitalization, and doing things like labels and tags. Like, I'm talking about the one true creator, unity, consciousness, dark and light.
Yes. Well, but in all fairness, I do like to use caps, but there's a lot of uh, other people who like to do the all caps, and I just like to sneak some caps in there here and there for emphasis. Yes, for emphasis.
And then all of which traits are scientifically testable and observable. I don't know for sure yet. I don't know how long this is, and I don't know what's in here, but I'm willing to bet right now that unity, consciousness, dark, and light are not actually, in the way that he means them, scientifically testable and observable.
I do have a huge list of scientific unity, which I don't have that in front of me right now. I'll have to dig that up, and I will post that later. I just wanted to hurry up and get my reaction in here in case he changed his mind about all this and erased it. Honestly.
Nor is he going to give any explanation of
No, I absolutely will, Matt. I absolutely will. It's coming. Gotcha, homie.
their testable or observable nature. But also, the issue here is he's saying, here are the traits I use to describe my perception of the one true creator. Cool. I only care if it's true. I have no interest in how some person's personal, esoteric assessment of things is labeled. I'm looking for something with some substance, so we'll continue. Divine sovereignty is our inseparable connection to the one true creator. Idolatry is anything besides our divine sovereignty which claims divine revelation. Church, Bible, and state are idolatry. There is no spirit that is not holy. All spirit is holy. All of God's creations are holy. If there's a single quanta of creation that is not holy, then God is not holy. These are informal arguments with disjointed premises and just kind of conclusions almost as assertions. So I'm talking about the creator. I'm going to define the creator this way. I'm going to say that divine sovereignty is our inseparable connection to the creator. And idolatry is anything that isn't consistent with our connection to the creator. Cool.
Now, idolatry is anything besides our divine sovereignty, which claims exclusive divine revelation. So divine revelation comes through our divine sovereignty, which is our inseparable connection to the one true creator. And the things like Bible, church, and state, they claim exclusive divine sovereignty, okay, which makes them idolatry. If they were just to claim divine revelation but not exclusive divine revelation as they do, then it would just be a totem or a representation of divine revelation, which is meant to inspire people to search within into their own divine sovereignty, their own connection to the one true creator.
Why do I care what counts as idolatry for anyone, let alone you or the one true creator or God?
That was not for atheists. That was for followers of Abraham who like to go around, slinging their fucking idolatry accusation at people. But followers of Abraham, I don't have any scriptures demanding any kind of physical retribution against people perpetrating idolatry like y'all do.
What value is any of this in here? Because right now we're just labeling some abstract concepts. And then he goes on to claim that church, Bible, and state are idolatry. I'm going to be as charitable as possible and say that what he's talking about is that the normative concepts of church with regard to the big religions and stuff, and the Bible, and I'm assuming other religious texts, and the concept of state are idolatry because all of these things seemingly divide us from our connection to what he sees as the true creator. But then it continues that there's no spirit that's not holy. All spirit is holy. All of God's creations are holy. If there's a single quanta, that is basically an argument saying that everything has to be holy because God can't make something that's not holy, and God made everything.
Yes, like followers of Abraham like to say that their perception of the one true creator is all powerful. They say that, right? But I say that my perception of the one true creator is not all powerful because he cannot produce an imperfect creation. Thus, everything, if it exists, it is perfect. And I know I'm stretching the bounds of the normal meaning of perfect right there, but words are just mouth queefs that people agree on, and they are thus malleable. And as long as you state in the different way in which you're using it, then you can roll with it. Roll with it.
This is a weird, and I mean that in a way that people might understand. It is weird that this is an objection that has been launched against the notion of a perfect God creating imperfect creations. And so this seems to be an encapsulation of that same idea.
Well, Christians will say that their perception of God is perfect and he created everything, yet he only has one perfect creation, which is Jesus, which is fucking hilarious. So if God created everything and he only has one perfect creation, that means he finally got one right, or that one perfect creation isn't actually doesn't actually belong to that particular God. So these are all little points I like to bring up to as evidence to prove that the Abrahamic perception of the one true Creator is inaccurate.
Continues, there is no sin if God is a perfect creator. To say there is sin is to say creation is imperfect. To say there is true sin is to say there is no one true creator. All creations flow from the true creator who bears sole responsibility for creation. Free will, knowledge, and mankind are all God's creations and thus perfect. Okay. You can assert that something is perfect as much as you want, but you need to actually demonstrate that something is perfect. There's nothing in here that it goes beyond assertion. Similarly, when you say that free will, knowledge, and mankind are all God's creations, I'm not convinced that free will exists. You would have to define what you mean by free will. And
well, there are meta levels to free will, just like there are levels to everything. The only time you really have closer to a free will is in your dreams, where you can, if you realize you're dreaming, you can do pretty much anything you want. Uh, so yeah, that's like a philosophical debate on as if free will even exists or not. So, but that right there was for once again mostly followers of Abraham who like to use free will and knowledge as scapegoat axioms to multiply together to equal imperfection. They will say, God's a perfect creator. God created man. God created free will. God created knowledge. God created all these things. Yet, when you multiply them together, somehow you have imperfection.
let's be honest, I'm not going to be digging into this again after this. But even if you were to define some version of free will, I don't know what your justification is for saying that it's perfect.
Well, I'm not using perfect in the typical sense where it is flawless. I am saying just anything that is perfect. Now, you can go and say, okay, well, that then renders it meaningless, this definition that you bring up, because if you're saying everything that is perfect, so that is therefore meaningless. But yet, you can say all matter is matter, but that still has meaning when it pertains to anything in the material world.
For example, in Judaism and Christianity, God doesn't claim that creation is perfect, he claims that it's good. Nothing is perfect but God. And that leads to this problem that this individual has seen in others, which is, can God, a perfect being, create something that is imperfect? Can he even create something with the possibility that it could become imperfect? Why would God create something that could decay? And is there a different definition of perfect? For example, is something perfect in its imperfection? Is something perfect in its decay? These are all kind of sophistry dances that people do. Ooh, I want to sound like I'm getting to something when you're getting to nothing. Not just this person, but all of the apologists, The religious philosophers who are putting the cart before the horse by seeking meaning before seeking meaning and purpose and value and messages before demonstrating that any such thing is likely or possible. He continues, "You will know them by their fruit" is never applied to Yahweh, who constantly attempts to push off evil and sin on the creation while claiming to be a perfect creator. A perfect creator can only produce perfect creations. If there's an imperfect creation, that is the fruit of an imperfect creator. Either imperfection is being falsely perceived, or there's no perfect creator. If there is a perfect creator, then any imperfection is falsely perceived. And if there is a perfect one true creator, then all of creation is as well perfect. Sure. If there is a perfect one true creator who can only create perfect things, then everything that perfect creator has created is perfect. Yes, that's a tautology. That's not an argument, it's not evidence, it's just a tautology. Meanwhile, he's basically attacking Yahweh, the God of Abraham. He did that from the outset and will continue to do that, which shows that instead of finding some real God concept, he's found one he doesn't like and is
No, I've demonstrated the real God concept within the 4 traits that I present for God. It's kind of like when you draw around an object, okay? You're not drawing the object itself, you're drawing around the object, but within drawing around that object, you are actually drawing the silhouette of a thing. Kind of like how they use what they can't see to detect what there is to see in astrology. It's a similar sort of method.
massaging things to take the objections that many of us have launched to Christendom and other versions of theology. He's taking those objections and putting together something that he would like to portray as, this is my religion. And it could be.
Now, how many theists do you know that admit that they believe in imaginary friends? Not a whole lot, but now you met one, me. All divinity, all perception of divinity is imaginary friends, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
We could get all the way down to the bottom of this, and it could be that he's just a secularist with no actual creator God and not even advocating for perfection. But it's difficult to find from here.
No, I'm totally theist, bro. I've never in my life been atheist. Totally theist.
So, all creation is a perfect extension of the one true creator. Thus, free will is itself a perfect creation. No, you don't get to do an if and then a thus. If you're trying to demonstrate that free will is a perfect creation, you don't get to say, if free will was created by a perfect creator, then it's a perfect creator, then it's a perfect creation, therefore it's a perfect creation. That doesn't work. It can't be used as a scapegoat axiom on which to justify the construct of sin, as followers of Abraham do. If there is a one true creator, then there is no sin. So,
Harbor Freight,
God
we're
fucking
committed
damn
to
it,
ensuring our
motherfuckers.
tools are expertly engineered and built to last.
Apologies for the secondhand commercials, y'all.
in being as charitable as possible, what he's saying is if there's a perfect creator, one true creator, the perfect creator, then there can't be any flaws, and that means there can't be any sins, and there can't be any rebellion.
No. My definition of perfection isn't the typical definition of perfection, where it is something that lacks flaws. I'm using a different definition. Admittedly, I'm stretching the typical bounds of the definition of perfection. Admittedly, okay.
Against that. If the one true creator is a perfect creator, then invariably every creation is as well inherently perfect. My conception of God is not all powerful. Okay? So now we're getting to a definition of his God concept. So his God is not all powerful. It's not the God of classical theism. It doesn't have that ability. I don't know for sure yet how, well, let's find out
Well, followers of Abraham like to claim that their God is all powerful, yet if you pay close attention, you will see that it's not actually all powerful either. Because if the God of the followers of Abraham was actually all powerful, he would be able to enact his will without violating the sanctity of his word. Okay, meaning that because basically Yahweh / Yahweh Jesus breaks every single one of his own commandments, and if he was all powerful, he would be able to enact his will without breaking his own commandments. Not because of a lack of power, but because he knows that his creations are intelligent and will look at his words compared to his actions. That the one true creator is the primordial source of intelligence and wisdom. My perception of the one true creator does not issue any commandments whatsoever. The only laws that I observe are the naturalistic scientific laws.
Find out more about his God. For all creation is perfect, and perfect creation cannot transmute into an imperfect creation. If man created free will and knowledge, then there is something that the one true creator did not create. If God created free will and knowledge, then they are inherently perfect to creation. And there's no combination of perfect creation which can transmute into imperfection, meaning there is no sin or evil. The one true creator owns all words and names ever spoken. This particular style of thinking,
because there is no word or name possible to be spoken without the breath of life which empowers it.
This aberration of owning words and names and power in words and names, I think it goes hand in hand with choosing to capitalize certain things and just seeing patterns of significance and applying and attributing significance to things like the words. There is no word or name separate from the one true creator. There is no word or name abhorrent to that which created them. Creation is complete freedom. This freedom can be condemned by limited minds, projecting their limits on the world. The penultimate mind does not condemn the infinite freedom, which is its own expression. The actual one true creator approves of criticism, for he is the primordial source of intellect and wisdom. He who fears criticism lacks confidence. The one true creator is the source of confidence. All of these little couplets are, this can't be, therefore this is the thing, when there's no demonstration that what anybody's saying is actually the case. So
all this is really geared towards believers and theists anyway. This wasn't composed for atheists. I would write things differently for atheists in particular. So there's that.
If creation is complete freedom, and there is no such thing as sin or evil, then you are not free to sin or evil, to sin or do evil in his model, or nothing that you do could be sinful or evil. And yet,
yes, exactly. There is no sin or evil.
There are absolutely things that we identify as problematic and evil. I reject the
Well, there's a difference between bad and evil. I don't believe in objective morality. For evil to be accurate, objective morality must be real, and all morality is subjective.
Concept of sin, but evil is the label that we put on actions that are contrary, whose consequences are contrary to the well-being of thinking creatures, to the...
Well, I would label that as bad, and I make a distinction between evil and bad. Bad is the unavoidable, inalienable, bad is experienced by all subjective beings, because we require certain fucking shit, man. We require certain conditions in which to thrive and live. And anytime those conditions are jeopardized in any way, we will call it bad. But religion likes to come along and juxtapose their perception of evil over the everyday experience of bad. So I do make a distinction between evil and bad. I will grant bad, that there is definitely bad out there, but bad and evil are different things. So in that way, I do not actually believe in evil.
Health and welfare and happiness of people, things like that. And so I think he might be, if I'm being charitable, confusing whether or not there's some absolute foundation of morality with a sort of nihilistic view on morality that all is amoral. And so, and once again, we're back to his primary criticism.
No, it's all morality is entirely subjective. I actually even go a step further. I'll have a lot more people agree with me on that than my second step. My second step is that all truth is actually subjective as well. Truth has no meaning to anything outside of a conscious awareness, which is observing and empowering it.
That he rejects the Abrahamic God. He says, the followers of Abraham say their perception of the one true creator is abhorrent to criticism, is a clue that they are misperceiving the actual one true creator. I am the brightest light, I am the darkest light, and I am ascending, as are we all. The dark light is upon you. This is the sort of language, sort of unhinged.
That is my intro. Okay, that is my intro, and it is meant to encapsulate the inherent paradox and fucking what else do they call it? Fucking shit. It's just the inherent paradox. Bright night, dark light. We are all the dark light. And it's not just me. I'm not just the dark light. Everything is the dark light. I'm just here to remind motherfuckers.
Language about, let me say something that sounds profound and actually means.
Well, that's my intro. I drop it everywhere I go, have been for years. And, it gets tedious for me too. But when I walk into a room, motherfuckers know the dark light is upon them. I make sure.
Nothing. It's entirely possible that this phrase and these words have significance to this individual, but they communicate nothing to anybody else. What does it mean to say that you're the brightest night? What does it mean to say that you're the darkest light? What does it mean to say you're ascending? What does it mean to say we all are? What does it mean to say the dark light is on you? Literally, this is gobbledygook. It's words. And I'm sure that if I sat down and teased it out, he would come up with explanations for what this stuff means. But at the end of the day, there's no demonstration that his God concept is true or that it has value.
Well, it's all subjective, and that's kind of the point. It's all subjective, bro. It's all subjective.
Anybody else, etc. He then finished that first message with, okay, that's a basic introduction. I won't send anything else unless you want to talk theology.
Okay, you got me, Matt. Fuck. I was fanboying out, okay? And I sent a couple extra videos besides what I fucking said I would. And I see how you could call that lying, Matt, okay? Okay? I was fanboy. I should have sent the couple more videos and then said I'm not going to send nothing more. See, because, spoiler alert, he gets... I send like an extra video or two, which there were short ones too, and he's like, you fuck ass honky, you told me you weren't going to send me no more shit, now you're spamming me, fuck you. Paraphrasing.
Have a great night. Thanks for the laughs and your bravery in defying the broken theology of Abraham. Then...
No, and that's a legit compliment, because you make me laugh a lot, and we're actually on the same side, Matt. We are, because to followers of Abraham, anyone who does not suck their dick deserves to die, okay? And that's me and you, Matt. That's both me and you. We will bite that Abrahamic dick off. I know you will. I know I will. So that is what makes us on the same side, Matt. All right, because I propose the alliance of defiance, which is a natural counterbalance to the broken theology of Abraham when it tries to consume the world. Because there is actually a lot more people in the world that are not followers of Abraham, but yet followers of Abraham like to act like they are the majority, and they will just dominate the world. So at some point, this is just the natural evolution progression of events. At some point, people are going to start looking up and looking around and be like, you know what? Fuck you, followers of Abraham. I'm not going to suck your dick, motherfucker. And then we're going to start looking around, and we're going to be like, I'm not going to suck it. Are you going to suck it? And that motherfucker be like, hell yeah, I'm already sucking it. All right, fuck you then. Are you going to suck it? Fuck no, I'm going to bite that shit off. Me too, motherfucker. Let's get together. And that's the alliance of defiance right there, brother.
Despite saying he wouldn't send anything else.
God damn it, Matt. I told you I was a fan, okay? I told you that. I am. Okay, it's kind of like Ray Comfort, okay? I know that's probably going to make you cringe, but I feel the same way about you that I kind of feel about Ray Comfort, which is both y'all annoy the fuck out of me, but I still respect you, and I still watch a bunch of your content, and I've learned to enjoy you over time, okay? It's an acquired taste, and I acquired the taste for it. I acquired that taste, Matt.
He sent an invitation to participate in his podcast, a safe space where people with various perspectives can discuss unsafe and controversial subjects.
Which is very much needed in this world right now, because motherfuckers are all staying in their own lanes. No one wants to talk to people that think different and shit. And I'm just trying to, facilitate a safe space in which, people can get together. All kinds of different kinds of people that think totally fucking different. Because the whole reason I started my channel a couple years ago, I got 600 videos now. The only reason I started my channel, the main thing, I wanted to go around and in-person interview true believers of every theology. I just like exploring motherfuckers' perception. I like seeing the different ways that people perceive the world. And so the Theology Council is just a culmination of that, pretty much. It's a funnel where I can get people together, and the whole point for the viewer, I want the viewer to be able to watch these episodes of my podcast, and they will see that they will be exposed to a high variety of perspectives on a multitude of subjects. Okay, that's the whole point.
Then describes his tattoos and that he's a non-Abrahamic true monotheist. He's a different kind of theist, and here it is. We are all God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, our consciousness is an extension of the omni-consciousness, which some call God. And we are all co-creators within the Godhood, and thus we are all God. God is living through our lives. That is why it is the living God. The living God is living through our lives, and thus we are all God. We all create our own worlds, okay? And when I say that, people are like, what? But yeah, motherfucker, we all create our own worlds through our thoughts first, and then through our actions. Through your actions, you craft the world that you live in right now. Now you have great influence. We're not like... And people are going to be like, oh, yeah, well, then why I fucking rich and just have everything I want? Because actually, everything you have is everything you want. Because it is everything you have created for yourself. It is what you accept and expect and therefore manifest.
This is one of those things where people are desperate to find regular, normative, popular versions of religion have utterly failed them.
The one true creator called on me to defy the broken theology of Abraham, and I accepted, is actually what happened right there. Now, it wasn't like, some kind of exterior voices in my head. It was just like a subtle, quiet offer. Will you? What was the offer? Will you defy the broken theology of Abraham everywhere you encounter it? And yes, I will. Now, I'm a fucktard. I am a fucktard. But when I go through the theology of Abraham, certain little things just pop out to me. Like, you see this right here? You see that right there? That is why that is misperceiving the one true creator. This is why these sects right here are misperceiving the one true creator. And hey, man, it's my imagination. I'll do what I want with it, homie.
And so they're desperately flailing around to find something else that feels like it has the gravitas and the significance of the religions they reject. I sent him a message saying we might never have a conversation, but I'll make a video addressing what you posted here, and you'll be free to respond. Until then, goodbye. And then, despite saying he wouldn't send me anything else, he sent me a whole...
Yeah, okay, man. Apologies, bro. Fuck. I told you I'm a fan, and I should have sent that shit before I said I won't send nothing else. I know. I fucked up, man. But it is what it is, you know? Also, I don't mind being a bad guy. Chael Sonnen taught me that. You can thank Chael Sonnen for me being... I mean, I'm not going to put it all on him, but Chael Sonnen damn sure encouraged me to... What did Chael say? He said, just turn it up. Magnify what is already there and just turn it up. And he said, it's okay to be a bad guy. And then here comes Jesse on Fire coming around, and he taught me some shit too. He's like, you know, if you're an annoying motherfucker, you can strategically use that shit. And I'm like, oh yeah? Tell me about it. He's like, yeah, bro. You got to be conscious about it, and you got to strategically use it, and just... It's okay to be annoying as fuck, but sprinkle in some interesting shit to draw people in and keep them hooked, nigga. That's what Jesse on Fire told me. These are MMA personalities. I watch all kinds of shit. I spend, when I'm not working, okay, when I'm working, it's a different story, but when I'm not working, dude, I spend God damn, 8 to 12 hours possibly a day on mostly on YouTube. And I don't know, fucking 80% of that, 70 to 80%, depending on the day, I am spending all that time on theology channels, theology content. Okay. And just when I get kind of fed up with the theology stuff, I'll go check out some MMA shit or whatever. But it's mostly theology, man. That's my jam. Just checking out how motherfuckers think and perceive. I love that shit, homie.
Bunch more links to videos.
This was Sweden, Canada,
God
Finland,
fucking
and the US.
damn it, you
It was
fuck
foreign,
ass
it was awesome.
ads,
It was
man.
awesome. It was foreign. It was awesome.
Fuck.
Like I said,
Oh, are
I'm
we
not
done?
here to mock this individual or make fun of them.
Hey, it's okay, bro. You know what? Okay. People, my favorite, people say, why do you believe in a creator? Okay. I call it the fractal singularity omnimatrix. And I am a creator. I am a creator. We are all creators. We are all co-creators. We are all gods. So it's kind of like a look at the trees type deal, except for it's a look at yourself. Because a look at the trees is looking at something outside yourself. Look at yourself. And I know you've heard this one before, but I'm twisting it a little bit. It's got a twist on it. Now the fractal is a self similar shape, consciousness, or extension. Singularity is a state of being singular. Omnimatrix. Omni means all. A matrix is a substrate which allows the cultivation or proliferation of something. So what is being proliferated is the state, the fractal state of singularity. And I'm a fucktard too. You know, it's cool. I'm a fucktard, bro. Like I'm on all the spectrums. I'll make up some spectrums to be on just to have some fun with something, you know?
Nobody else should go looking for them to do it either. This is what happens when...
I've honestly never seen Matt look quite so disturbed and perplexed. Like, I've watched a lot of Matt content, and I've never seen him look quite so perplexed and disturbed. And if this is the closest thing I can get to a conversation with Matt, that's cool. I mean, I'll leave room for possibilities in the future, but if this is all I get, that's cool. I appreciate it. Actually, this shit went down like weeks ago, probably close to a month ago. I thought this wasn't going to happen. He did say that he was going to make a video on it, and I was but then he's like, "Fuck you! You sent me stuff after you said you wouldn't. You're a goddamn liar." I'm like, "Oh shit! Well, there goes that." Actually, I was getting close to making a reaction on our thread just a day or two ago, but I was like, "No, I'm gonna give it some time." And here we go, But well, I do appreciate you actually evaluating what I sent you there, Matt. I do respect your perception. We don't have to agree with each other on everything, but we can definitely agree that any and all who do not submit to the rule of a judge or priest of Abraham shall surely be killed. We can agree on that, right, Matt? That's what they say and think, and ultimately when it comes down to, that's what's going to be what time it is for these motherfuckers, right? So I do actually extend the alliance of defiance. Now the alliance of defiance is for anyone that is tired of the tyranny of the Abrahamic religions, okay? And their tyranny will gradually increase and increase and increase because they believe that the whole world should be sucking their dick, okay? But you know what? The whole world don't want that dick, bro. The whole world don't. Some motherfuckers, you get that shit near me, I'm gonna bite it off. Bite that shit off, motherfucker.
People possibly suffering from mental health problems.
Ad hominem, bro. Someone's thinking different, so he's got to be crazy. I've heard that a bunch. What I've heard the most since I was a kid, bro. Since I was a fucking kid, people were like, "You look like a serial killer. You look like a serial killer." I'm like, motherfucker, I haven't killed nothing yet. I mean, I funded some abortions, but the state of Florida did that shit. I haven't killed nothing yet, man. People keep going around saying, "Bro, you look like a serial killer, man." I'd get it all the time because I used to go to new schools a lot. Motherfuckers would stay away from me. Like when I walked through a crowd, like other people had to squeeze through that crowd. Them fucking crowds would part for me, dude. I'm talking about just straight up part like the goddamn Red Sea for me every time I walk through it. I'm just saying I got dark light aura is what it is, homie.
Don't get the help and respect they need. And this is what happens when religious nonsense floods the world and is viewed as significant and potentially true without showing that it's true to anybody. The biggest difference between what this person put together, this person's esoteric attempt at religion and spirituality of whatever sense, the difference between that and all the other ones you've heard of and know of and recognize is that all those other ones are accepted by more people and they're...
Oh, come on, bro, really? There's some kind of fallacy there. Fuck, I need to brush up on all my fallacies. What's that? Appeal to authority fallacy. There's a fallacy there. Okay, AI agreed that my theology is way more logical than followers of Abraham, and we all know. We all know how AI is totally impartial and doesn't just tell you what the fuck you want to hear, right?
Given vastly more respect, which none of them have earned. The untestable, unfalsifiable, nonsensical, incoherent claims, all designed to sound important and to make people feel important and to assuage their fears of not knowing and feeling alone and what comes after life, or what comes after death. Is there anything beyond that? This is noise that isn't merely just polluting the minds of the populace. It is.
What are you talking about, bro? You just said it. No one else believes this shit anyway. I'm just doing me, homie. I'm just doing me. Everyone else around me was sitting there saying what the fuck they think, and I just started saying what I think. Stop being pinche güero.
It is an encouraged pollutant. It is held up as if it's a good thing. And then when people are no longer convinced of those religions and start to see problems with them, but they don't have the skill set or the mental.
Okay, I am a fucktard, Matt. All right, and I've admitted that, and I'm okay with it. It ain't nothing. I am a bit of a fucktard, Matt. All right, I'm on some spectrums. You know, shit happens. You know, like I've just accepted that.
Discipline or acumen to say, oh, that's simply not true. Let me go find what is, and I should point out, let's be consistent and logical. Let's, not necessarily.
Actually, my logic is consistent, and that's one thing that differentiates it from followers of Abraham logic, is because they are very inconsistent with their logic.
Necessarily go looking for hidden meanings and hidden codes and make everything.
I actually do have like an hour-long video from close to a year ago where I compare my theology to the Abrahamic theologies. And now, once again, this is from AI, so take it with a grain of salt, but you can evaluate it yourself. But my theology is much more logical.
Thing have significance. Somehow or another, we skipped past the notion that maybe we're just here and we should make the best of it. Now, the humanist in me wants this person who emailed to get the help they need and the respect they deserve as a human being. And I also would like for the more common religions to stop getting the respect that they do not deserve, that they haven't earned, because their views are merely more popular. And
I do appreciate that, Matt. I do appreciate that.
Thereby more popularly respectable, with no demonstration that they should be respected or considered true. This guy and his views, I would have laughed. A lot of you would have laughed. I'm sure I've hung up on him. I'm sure I've said things. This guy and his...
I got reactions to the videos on my channel, actually. It's not like a fuck ton of them. I've only called in a few times, but there's a reaction to each one on my channel.
Views probably pose less of a threat to the world, even if his incoherent ramblings became more popular, than the religions that are commonly and irrationally and unjustly respected.
Well, I do not have any scriptures commanding and demanding me to harm anyone that doesn't agree with me, which is another big difference from me and followers of Abraham. Followers of Abraham all have dogmas and scriptures demanding and commanding that they harm their fellow man for not capitulating to their particular perceptions. So, yes, I am... my theology has none of that.
There, but for the grace of God, go all of us. See you next time.
Hey, I appreciate it, homie. Appreciate it, man. Like I said, if that's the closest thing we ever have to a conversation, that's cool, bro. But also, I definitely leave room for possibilities in the future. If you ever want to join the podcast, I'm down. I think once I get a couple episodes out and you see what the hell I'm trying to do, you might want to participate. But even if not, that's cool. Now, I do want to reach out to a handful of my favorite Christians to invite them also on my podcast, the Theology Council. Let's just take it from the top. let's just take it from the top. So we have Cap Chatfield, we have Ray Comfort, we have Bryce Smith, not Bryce Mitchell, even though him too. Bryce Crawford. We have who else? We got Cliff Schnettel. Him and his son. Fuck it. You and your son, Cliff. Who else we got? We got Marcus Dixon. He's a smaller channel. He's not as big as the other channels I mentioned, but he's a true believer that I'd like to talk to. So on the Jew side, we got Tovia Singer. I would like to invite to my podcast. We got at Ava Torah Judaism. We got what's that fucker's name? Ephraim something. Fuck, he's cool. Then on the Muslim side, I forget all there's a couple channels I watch on the Muslim side. But we'll actually fuck the channels. Myron Gaines. He's not specifically a Muslim channel, but he is a Muslim that I would love to have on my podcast. He is very outspoken, and I would love to have him on. So yeah, like let's talk about it, man. Like, can we not talk about it? You know, let's at least. It doesn't have to be you, Matt. I mean, right now, who do I have lined up for my next episode? I have a Satanist. He's got his own channel at Lord Cameron, I think is his channel. We have Kyle Butler, who is a friend of Durante Lamar. We have Deconstructing Christianity, right? With Coach Renz. He's agreed to come on. Man, I got some Christians prairie dogging. I just called up what is it? What the fuck is it? I don't. The dude I just called up and made a video about earlier today. His name's Eric. What is it? Some apologetics shit. What was it? Testify apologetics. Yeah. So, I do appreciate you reacting to my theology, Matt. I do appreciate that, sir. And I didn't even get into everything. I'm omnitrans. I am omnitrans. Okay, I am. And what is that, you might ask? And if you're asking, what the fuck is omnitrans? Okay, that might be a good indication that you're omnitransphobic. Yeah. And so omnitrans is simply someone who realizes that they can transcend all social constructs, not just the social construct of gender. And I would like to thank the transgenders for opening the trans door. Thank you guys. And I deeply mean that. But I would like to encourage the transgenders to start to wonder, what other kind of social constructs can I transcend? Wonder that with me. Ponder that with me. Explore that with me. Let's break all these goddamn boundaries down. I am the brightest night. I am the darkest light. And I am ascending, as are we all. Step into Dane's world. The dark light is upon you. Stay beautiful, motherfuckers.